Hi science friends, I need your help. So I saw this really cool headline and I was like, oh, I really wanted to cover it because it has a lot to do with my PhD research, Alzheimer's, heat shock proteins. And so I was diving into the paper itself. And in the results section, as you can see here, it says that certain heat shock proteins were upregulated in this patient that seems to be resistant to dominant genetic mutation for Alzheimer's disease in his family. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool, right? So I see that it says this in the supplemental figure, so I go to the supplemental figure section. And then the legend, it says that supplemental figure, I'll pop it here too, says the specific supplemental figure to something that should have this data. And I'm scrolling through the figures, and I mean, I'll pop where that data should be, but I also looked through the rest of the figures, and not only am I not finding that data, but I don't even see a breakdown of like A, B, C anywhere. And I feel like I'm just losing it. So I asked a good friend to also fact check me on this, and he couldn't find it either. So I guess why I'm making this video is, it seems weird to me that this paper came out in February, and it's in Nature Medicine, which is a really high impact factor journal. It made the news headlines last month. I mean, tons of news journalists were talking about it. So maybe I'm just missing something, and that's why I wanted to ask before I jump to conclusions of maybe I'm not finding this data somewhere. It is an open access journal. Funnily enough, Nature does paywall it, but you can find it for free on PubMed, so I'll pop the link below. But I'd appreciate any help on this to figure out if the data's there. But I also think that this is kind of an important message or time to point out why we need more actual scientists doing journalism research, or at least talking about news headlines, because I haven't seen anyone talking about specific data of heat shock proteins. We're just throwing it out there into the ether on these news headlines. But when I'm diving into where that data actually is, or says it is, it isn't there. So yeah, I don't want to jump to any conclusions here, but I would love some help if anyone would be willing to just check this paper, see if you come to the same conclusion as I am, or if you do find the data, to let me know. Because I do really want to cover this. I think it's a super exciting, promising area or a case study, but I also don't want to make a mistake that maybe journalists have made, or these news headlines, of talking about a headline when we don't actually look at the real data first.